Welcome to episode 12, CEO time. So, this is a really interesting idea, and I hope it's something that you're familiar with. But if not, I would love to talk you through it. So, what really is CEO time and how can you use it? This is what we're going to cover in today's session. And firstly, CEO is really when we step up into that power of being that executive, being that executive head of our business. So, like any other company that we might look at, they will have a CEO and acting in that way where they are really leading that company, taking them, helping with the direction that they're going in, the growth and the planning, and all the things that they need to see from a very high level in terms of where they're heading and how they're heading there. And I think it is so important as solopreneurs to bring this CEO time into our life and to our business time as well. Because if we don't have a regular CEO time, then it's almost like we're working away on a daily basis. We are working away, doing all the things and being busy, doing all the admin, the marketing, the sales, the client work, all the stuff that we need to do to have our business running. But what the CEO time would help us do if we add that in is to take a step back from our day to day work and look at our business and work on our business. So rather than working in it, where we're looking at today's tasks, like the near future, we become like a bit more distanced from the day to day when we put our CEO hat on. Because what we're doing is we're looking at long term, we're looking at strategies, we're looking at where we're trying to head, we're looking at what our vision is and reconnecting with our goals and seeing where we are placed and where it is we're wanting to go, then obviously taking account of where we are just now and trying to bridge that gap. So trying to make those two things meet. And obviously nothing happens overnight. And when you're a solopreneur, you're simply so busy working in your business that you don't have time or you don't have a huge amount of time that you can invest to be that CEO on a weekly basis, for example. But if you have enough CEO time and you have it built in a regular fashion, what you're doing is you're checking in with where you're trying to go, where you are now, and if that's actually going to help you, what you're doing on a day to day basis, is that actually helping you get there? Because it's almost like it's creating that journey again between those 2 points. And there might be many, many ways to get to that destination. Some might be quicker, some might take longer. They could be that they deviate and go into sort of you do have to do something else to gain experience in order for the next stepping stone to get to the next level. But they're all working towards that. And it might look like a squiggly line, which it often does, because we're not going in a straight line. And we must take into account of what we want to do as well. So really bringing in that kind of alignment piece of making sure where you're trying to head is actually where you want to go. And you might want to tweak that. As a CEO, you might decide that, something that you were going for is actually not that important anymore. But if you are so caught up in the day to day, you don't have time to reflect, then you might miss that. And all that happens is you lose out in terms of time because you're working away for this thing that isn't going to materialize. It's not going to make your heart sing when you get there. So instead, keeping on with this sort of regular CEO time, you're tapping in to see if there's anything that needs to change and really allowing for things to settle so that you can find your way because there's multiple answers to a problem, and there are multiple ways to get to that place that you're trying to get to, but it's what works for you. It's what feels good to you, and it's also what feels like is in alignment with how you want to operate. Because if somebody um, gives you an idea that you could have for a goal, then it might not necessarily be your goal. You're not that passionate about it. And then secondly, they might give you, well, here are the steps. This is what I did. Those steps might not make sense for you because they are in a different place. They'll have a different audience. They'll have different things going on, and you just simply can't replicate what somebody else is doing. So this is where it's always important to go back to within yourself, really, to connect and make sure that what you are doing is actually filling your cup. So I wanted to cover here how important it is. So I hope that explains what it is and what you can do with it and why you need it, because it's so important to make sure that that direction you're heading in is the right way. And the answer to when to make it happen, I guess it's what suits you best. You might be wanting to put a little bit of time in every week. You may want to put it in every fortnight, or for example, you might want to carve out maybe a half day every month. So, what feels good to you? What could you put into your diary today to say, I've never done this before, or I have, but I've not done it in the most intentional way, and I want to be even more focused with this. And how about you take action today and put into your diary CEO time, and you figure that out in the next couple of weeks. When is it that you can give some time? Could be an hour, it could be 2 hours, it could be a half day, whatever suits you, but it's more important to do it and do it regularly than it is, that you've not carved out, a half day and you're not able to, so hence you don't do anything. It's more important to even put that half an hour in that gets you started. So that's my invitation to you, is to grab your diary and see when the next time you can meet with yourself as a CEO and really look at your business. So I hope that's been helpful for you, and I will see you in the next episode.